Cheat on me? I will destroy your life. This happened a little over a decade ago, and I had the perfect life, great house, great husband, great car, great job. The American dream. Soon, that dream turned into a nightmare when I discovered my husband was cheating on me. It started small, basically the typical signs: coming home late, ignoring attempts to get intimate, making excuses, etc. Then, one day, I had a notion to go through his phone. Huge mistake on my part. Not only was he cheating on me, but he was doing so with a guy. I'm okay with the LGBT community, and I don't have a problem with my husband wanting to explore other sides. The problem is that he didn't have the ahem to tell me what he was doing. I had located the other guy, and we became fast friends. I found out via the guy that my husband had a Grindr, gay dating app, and had hooked up with more guys. Together, the other guy and I came up with a plan. He had tricked my husband to agree to a hotel room that night for some alone time. In the process, he had gathered some very incriminating evidence of my husband's, what's the word for not being faithful? And thanks to my father, I had a prenup that terminated marriage of said lack of faithfulness had evidence. My doofus ex-husband showed up while I was hiding in the bathroom. The other guy was playing his part well, telling my dope that he was going to the bathroom to freshen up. That's when I came out with the evidence and the prenup, the section highlighted in the contract. I told him I was getting everything, and he was done for. He bolted. When I took him to court for the divorce hearings, I had requested that I got the house and his car, since it was in my name. Thanks to Daddy Dearest, I was the primary breadwinner of our family, so I got what I wanted and got to keep my assets. He lost everything but his crappy Nissan and his clothes. He had tried going back to the other guy, now my good friend, but that didn't work. In the end, my ex had to move back in with his parents, and I think he's working at Target. Last I heard, I don't care. Hell hath no fury like a Latina scorned. I discovered my wife of 7 years is cheating on me. She doesn't know that I know. I don't know where to begin, but I guess there's no easy way to say this. This is the worst thing that has ever happened to me. I'm 30 years old. I work from home as a software developer. My wife, Emily, is 28. She's very beautiful. She's a hair and makeup artist. She's incredibly talented at what she does. She mostly works with brides and bridal parties, but over the last couple of years, her career has really taken off. A lot of that success is thanks to John, who owns a really popular local wedding venue. John has been a huge connection for her. Through him, she's gotten work with photographers, local advertising agencies, and even a few small modeling gigs. She's even modeled in some local ads herself. John's in his 40s, married with 3 kids, and his wife is very pretty for a mom of 3. I guess I get it, though. My wife is younger and way better looking. Our marriage has been great as far as I know. Emily and I have been together since high school. We're still best friends. We have regular date nights, an active and exciting sex life, and she's always been thoughtful and caring. I never doubted her love for me. That's why this blindsided me. A week ago, I was working from home and I heard an email notification from my wife's laptop, which was plugged in for charging. She had logged into it before going to the gym, and she doesn't like her computer locking automatically when she leaves it alone. She forgot to lock it before leaving it. I saw the email preview notification from John and it looked fishy, so I opened it.
It wasn't romantic.
It wasn't even sexual. It was logistical, a time, a place, and some comment about keeping things discreet. But it was the last line that floored me. You're incredible. I can't stop thinking about last night.
I thought about last night.
She came home late, said she'd had a long shoot with a photographer, and we had dinner together like everything was fine. Normal. I scrolled back through her messages and emails. Most of it was mundane, work-related, professional, but sprinkled throughout were little hints, things that didn't sit right. John saying she looked beyond stunning at an event. Emily thanking him, but keeping it neutral. Nothing about love. Nothing about feelings. But it was clear something was happening. Then I read an email about booking a hotel for them both in town. It said it was the usual place. I felt like I'd been punched in the chest. I started panicking about it and went online looking for information about cheating. I read about the red flags and thought about the ones she showed. Emily's work schedule had gotten a bit more unpredictable over the last few months. She'd started dressing up more, new outfits, sexy underwear, even on days when she said she was just running errands. She was grooming more down there. But I thought she was doing it for me. There were nights when she came home later than usual, blaming long shoots or last-minute bridal emergencies. But she never seemed distant. She never pulled away from me. If anything, she was more attentive, initiating sex more often, planning surprise date nights, and constantly telling me how much she loved me. That's the part that stings the most. I didn't feel like I was losing her. I felt like we were closer than ever. I started paying closer attention. Later, I was snooping around the house on the pretext of cleaning, and I found a small jewelry box tucked into one of her makeup drawers. Inside was a necklace, simple but expensive looking. I hadn't bought it for her. When I asked about it casually later, she said it was a gift from a client. I didn't question it at the time. It seemed plausible. She works with high-end brides all the time, and clients giving her gifts isn't unheard of. But now, I couldn't get the image of that necklace out of my mind. I also started noticing other things, the new clothes and underwear, the grooming, little shifts in her behavior that seemed harmless on the surface, but now felt suspicious. I've been copying the messages to my computer and torturing myself by going over and over them. It goes back about a year, which is when her hair and makeup business started booming. Here's the thing, I don't think Emily loves John. I've read through the messages, and while he's clearly infatuated with her, she keeps him at arm's length emotionally. There's no "I miss you" or "I love you." Just logistics, compliments, and occasional thanks. One time she even wrote, "Haha, go tell that to your wife." But it doesn't matter. She's sleeping with him. She's lying to me. And I don't know how to process that. I haven't confronted her yet. I don't even know how to start that conversation. I keep telling myself I need more proof, but maybe I'm just delaying the inevitable. All I know is that the woman I thought I knew, the woman I married, seems to be fucking another guy. If I confront her, she's going to deny it either way, right? I know I should probably just sit down and talk with her, but then that would clue her in, right? I Googled it, and we live in an at-fault state. We don't have kids. So if I divorce and I have proof of her cheating, she won't get any spousal support. Also, couldn't she just make up terrible shit that I did to her in order to control the narrative with our families? I mean, I don't think she'd do that, but I didn't think she'd cheat on me either. It's late, and I'm drunk. I'll check out what Reddit has to say about it, but I just want to go pass out and hear any recommendations from people who have been through this. I mean, it doesn't seem like she loves him, but does that even matter at this point if she's cheating on me? My revenge story almost killed a man. About 3 years ago, I was working in a pretty big factory. They hired through 5 different temp services, so the place was pretty much like a revolving door. People came and left without any warning. Sometimes it was hard just to find a familiar face. So when someone started stealing my lunches, everyone became a suspect. After falling victim to the lunchbox bandit for a week straight, I'm talking about 6 12-hour days with no lunch. Needless to say, the frustration spawned several evil plans, but I felt the Carolina Reaper would give me the fastest and most effective results. All I know is people were gonna think twice before stealing lunches. I spent all night making the best steak fajitas for lunch the next day. I finally minced the Reaper peppers into a nice pico de gallo and topped my devil fajitas off. I carefully placed my fajitas into a Tupperware bowl, garnished them with cilantro and limes, then covered them with a clear lid to display their beauty. The next morning, about an hour after I placed them in the fridge, a woman started screaming for help. I ran to the lunchroom to find the lunchbox bandit laying on the floor gasping for air. The Reaper peppers triggered an asthma attack, and he had to be rushed to the hospital. He never said anything, and neither did I until now.